Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with Channel Disturbance. This is a Char Futur 4. It's a tier 9 French reward tank. It's located on the east spawn of Studzianki under the command of Mr. Lan. Now, many of you are probably trying to work your way up to frontline to earn this tank. It's quite a new one. Not many have them at the moment. Very few, in fact. But it's quite an interesting tank, to say the least. Well, it's a full-shot autoloader, and the caliber is 105mm, firing standard APCR, 390 alpha, penetration of 264mm with standard shell, and with the heat rounds you can actually take that up to 330mm. He's not carrying any HE at all, but he could do 480 of 53mm of penetration with those. On this battle, I don't think he's really interested in the HE. It's a tier 10 game, he's tier 9 premium. So he's going to earn extra XP for all the damage he does. Let's see how he gets on. Well, he doesn't have much in the way of gun depression. That's because the turret is actually located quite a long way back along the body of the tank. In order for him to get the gun depression, he'd have to sort of like depress the gun even, well, as much as he can, but he can't depress it because the body's in the way. Normally when the tanks have the turret at the front of the vehicle, they can gain the extra depression by sort of like depressing the gun over the front of the tank. But this one you can't do so much. He's desperately trying to get shots on those enemies, not getting anywhere. I think he's realized that this tank is not really useful in the depression. He's tried backing up a bit because obviously with a rear mounted turret it actually is slightly easier to get depression when you reverse up, but of course those fans on the back of the machine, because those are cooling fans, actually tend to get in the way. In many senses it's a bit like one of those Swedish mediums, the new ones. It's very weak body, but it's a very flat design. Well, he's abandoned the Object 430U because he's not going to get any damage on the enemy whilst he's sitting up there, simply because he just doesn't have the gun depression to attack them. Instead, what he's going to actually do is go south and see what he can attack the enemy coming around that side. We're 3 tanks down on the enemy at the moment, which is not so great. The other bad thing about this tank is I'm afraid that it's got a very long reload between shells, 4 seconds between each shells, and the standard reload is about 40 seconds for a clip, but he's got it down to 35 already, and I suspect he's got a rammer and a decent crew in there. The shells though are very good, the 105mm, it's just that 4 seconds between each shot, that's a lifetime. IS-22, yeah, easily through the side of that, high roll, but the guy's pulled back into cover. That's the problem. You fire, the enemy gets hit, they pull back, and you can't get a second shot. Puts a round into the 277, he drops down into the dip, and we can't get a follow-up. The other problem, of course, is the long reload. It sort of like makes you want to empty the entire clip before actually having to reload. 2 shots into the IS-152. So it's been quite a good clip. He's earned 1,513 hit points from it, and it looks to me like he's actually deciding to go north again and see what he can do up there. In many ways I consider this tank is not so much of a brawler because of that weak armor. It's more of a tank sniper, so it's a flanking medium that can actually snipe from a distance. Okay, it's loaded this clip, ready to go. Another round of APCR. Okay, 430U still up there. Just saw the leopard. Can get a shot into him. Nice. Can we get a third in? Lost sight of him. I think he doesn't want to waste a round. Nice one, right into the turret of the VK, and his side second one didn't work. So okay, so he's now in full reload. So 3 useful shots there, 1 sadly missed. But you can see he's taking up the position that you'd normally use for a tank destroyer. And you can see that T10, but of course he's not loaded, so he can't do anything. That VK was really out of position. It was a very nice shot right into the back of the turret. He was trying to get the ammo rack on it. Okay, any sign of the enemy up here? Can't see them at the moment. T10's gone. T54 is just showing the top of his turret. The platform's in the way. Oh, the projecto's popped up. He's one shot. Oh, and he gets the kill. So that's his first kill. He's already got 3k of damage. I think you can see from the way he's positioning the tank as well that it sort of like favours the fact that the turret is at the rear. You sort of like drive it like you would a Swedish medium. Nice one, gets one into the turret of the T54E1. Now he's got the VK. Now that one didn't go through. Going for the weak spot. Yes, gets it in. 385. And the VK is dead. Okay, we're still 2 tanks down on the enemy. And looks like they're winning in the south. Yeah, they just killed the last defender in the south, which was the Nerva. Was it the T32? Okay, so now we got problems, because it means the enemy is going to be coming towards our cap. And I think that Mr. Land's decided he's better off up in the woods to the north, because there's no enemy up there now. I can still snipe at the cap area and try and attack the enemy as they make their way towards the factories. Object 277 is in the center, but he can't get shots on that guy. Okay, he's loaded. 4 rounds of heat. He's going to need those because the enemy tanks that are coming from the south, Object 705, IS-22, VK-4502. He's relocating to the wood. I'm surprised the Object 430 still got as many hit points as he has, but it's probably because he's a reasonably good player and he was putting up a good defense up here, stopping the enemy from moving through the north area, and he's now decided to go down towards the factory, get close to those 277s and the Object 430. Oh, there's the first one, 705A, right through his front plate. And tracked him. And another one through his front plate. And the third one through his lower plate. The fourth one. So that was a really good clip, that one. He's now up to 5k of damage. And that 705 is a one-shot. In fact, he's even more of a one-shot now because he just took another round. So the long wait for that reload. It really is a long reload time. See, it's a very flat turret as well. If this turret was slightly higher, obviously it would be a higher profile, but obviously then it might have some gun depression. Okay, he's loaded, ready to go. Another 4 rounds of heat. There's the IS-22. Tracked him. Yes, got the kill. Can he get the 705? No, doesn't appear he did. Going for the 430, didn't get through the armor. Okay, he's loading APCR. No, he's queued up the heat for the next magazine after this. We got the Object 430, or rather the Object 430U on our team did. And he's now fighting out with the Charioteer, but we're not loaded, so we can't help him. He should be able to win against the Charioteer, and he does, yes. Okay, then we've got the SU-152, or ISU-152, and oh, well, we get 1 round in, and he gets killed by the 430U, so the 430U is quite probably happy with that. Now we've got the VK to deal with. That one bounced off the turret. We took a round from the 705 because we were seen, unfortunately. We've only got 1 round left. I think will he reset and reload? Yep, he's opted for the reload. Such a long reload. Loading heat this time. Last clip of heat. Just got to mark the time. Our 430's got very few hit points left, and that 4502 knows it. Here he comes. We're not loaded yet. 430 hits him. Oh, he can't afford to take any damage, and he dies. Now, can we get this 4502? We get one in. Can we get the second one in? He tries to go for the turret. He can't get it through the armor. Now, make this count. Yes, that one went in, but he's going to have to fire the last round. Yes! So it's now 1 versus 1. They've turned this battle all the way around. Just the Object 430U and Mr. Lan in his Char Futur 4 turned the battle around. It's now the 705 versus the Char Futur 4. Let's see which is the better tank. And the... well, because he's a one-shot, the 705 has actually decided that I can't fight it out face-to-face. I'm going to have to go cap. And so he's capping. And this means that the advantage is with Mr. Lan, because he can now relocate. It is quite a fast tank, 60 kilometers an hour, so he can relocate to a position where the 705's not expecting him to come from and take him out of the game. Now, I reckon that 705 is going to be sitting in the cap looking towards the north, because that's where Mr. Lan was located. He's not going to expect him to come up behind him. In fact, actually, there's some chat going on. He is a one-shot. They're saying in chat, he is a one-shot. Yep, definitely. No problem about it. There he is! And he's not looking the right way. And he makes absolutely sure of it and wins the game. Well done, Mr. Lan. Let's have a look at the end of battle stats. It's a first class tank for Mr. Lan in the Char Futur 4, and the fact that this is a first class and not an ace probably means the standard has been set very high by the content creators and the Unicums who already have it. He got a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 5 exactly. A duelist for taking down 2 tanks who damaged him. A fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. He did get 4 exactly, and a fire effect for doing more damage than the hit points of his vehicle. But he, more importantly, picked up a high caliber for dealing the most damage in that game overall. And let's have a look at the team scores and see exactly where he came. 6,557 hit points of damage in a medium tank in a tier 10 battle against tier 10 tanks. Yes, very well done. The Object 430U, you can tell he was a good player because, yes, he did manage to get 4,879 hit points of damage before he was taken out. And the next high scorer was that Object 705A on the enemy team with 4,668 for him. So 3 really good players, but Mr. Lan prevailed. When it came to kills, it was the 430U did the best. He got 6 kills. He got a Top Gun. 4 kills for Mr. Lan. 4 kills for the Object 705A. And when it came to base XP, it's Mr. Lan with 1,319. Then we've got the Object 430U with 1,295. And finally, we've got the Progetto M35 Mod 46 with 940. He fired 28 rounds, got 26 direct hits and 19 penetrations. Goes to show he's a good shot, but not all of the shots went through. Even some of the heat rounds didn't hit the right spots, and obviously they just tracked the vehicle, or they just didn't, they ricocheted off the armor. 6,557 hit points of damage, of which 5,290 were up more than 300 meters. So you can see a long-range sniper. This tank is not a flanking medium. It's not a brawling medium, rather. It is a flanking medium that snipes. 2 hits received, both penetrated, weak armor, so this vehicle is going to let anything that hits it through. 1 enemy vehicle spotted, 9 enemy vehicles damaged, 4 killed, and 816 hit points of damage assistance. He got 61 defense points, actually. If he'd left it a few seconds longer, he would have actually ended up with a defender's medal as well. 56,892 credits for the game, and after repair, ammunition, respawn, consumables, he actually made a loss of 31,712. But he did fire a fair amount of heat during that game, and he did have the consumables, so yeah, I think you can excuse the fact that there is a loss. 1,319 XP, 99 for this being a premium vehicle. Because it's a reward tank, you're not getting as much in the way of crew, extra crew training XP, but what the hell, it's still pretty good. 2,078 experience points altogether. So a very good first replay from Mr. Land. 6.5k, 1 versus 2 at the end, and he still prevails, still wins. And just goes to show, with a good player, you can, and this tank, you can actually do well, but you have to treat it more like a TD than a medium, because it just doesn't have the armor to fight it out. A 430U, it's got the armor. He can fight it out face to face with heavies and still win. But Mr. Land, no, he has to snipe because his armor is no good, and therefore he just has to rely on that gun being really, really good. The only unfortunate thing is that long reload, 4 seconds between each shot, and the long reload of 35 seconds for an entire clip, and it's only 4 shots. He did have enough ammo to do the job, but it cost him, because he did have to carry enough heat to carry it out. But I think you can say that it's a decent medium, and it's well worth grinding all your way through Frontline to get. Unfortunately, I won't get one this year, simply because I didn't take part in Frontline. I'm too busy making videos, so therefore I can't get one. Yeah, so Wargaming, please, if you've got any spare, I would like one. Please. No, I don't think they ever will give me anything like that. So well done, Mr. Land. Congratulations. It's a really good replay, and I like this one. So yes, interesting tank. If you enjoyed this replay, please give this video a like, and do subscribe to our channel, please. And thanks for watching.